Good evening, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about a fascinating topic that has captured the imagination of millions of people worldwide: the miracles of saints. More specifically, I would like to share some intriguing stories of ghosts, apparitions, and miracles of saints that are said to have taken place in the Vatican. The Vatican is known as the spiritual center of the Catholic Church and a place of immense religious significance. It is home to many holy relics, magnificent churches, and is the residence of the Pope. Over the centuries, it has witnessed numerous miraculous events that are believed to be the work of the saints. First, let's talk about the ghosts of saints that are said to haunt the Vatican. One of the most famous ghost stories is about the spirit of Pope Pius IX, who was the longest-serving pope in history. It is said that his ghost still roams the halls of the Vatican, looking for his favorite hat. According to legend, the Pope's hat was lost during one of his visits to the Vatican's gardens, and he never found it again. Some say that the Pope's ghost can still be seen searching for his hat in the gardens. Another famous ghost story is about the ghost of St. Peter, who is believed to haunt St. Peter's Basilica. According to the legend, the ghost of St. Peter appears in the church on the anniversary of his death. It is said that he can be seen walking through the church, blessing the people, and performing miracles. Now, let's move on to the apparitions of saints. An apparition is a supernatural appearance of a saint or a holy figure. One of the most famous apparitions in the Vatican is the apparition of the Virgin Mary to a peasant girl named Bernadette in Lourdes, France, in 1858. The apparition was witnessed by many people, and it led to the establishment of a shrine in Lourdes that is now visited by millions of people every year. Another famous apparition is the apparition of Saint Michael the Archangel to Pope Gregory the Great in the 6th century. The apparition is said to have appeared over a castle in Rome and announced the end of a devastating plague that was ravaging the city. The Pope then ordered a procession through the streets of Rome to thank God for the miracle, and the city was spared from the plague. Now, let's talk about the miracles of saints that are believed to have taken place in the Vatican. One of the most famous miracles is the miracle of the Eucharist. The Eucharist is the central sacrament of the Catholic Church, and it represents the body and blood of Jesus Christ. It is believed that during a Mass in the Vatican in the 8th century, the bread and wine miraculously turned into the body and blood of Christ. Another famous miracle is the miracle of Saint Clare of Assisi. Saint Clare was a nun who lived in the 13th century and was a follower of Saint Francis of Assisi. It is said that during an attack on her convent, she held up the Blessed Sacrament, and the enemies were miraculously repelled. In addition to these miracles, there are many other stories of miraculous healings, visions, and apparitions of saints that are said to have taken place in the Vatican. These stories have been passed down through the centuries and continue to captivate the hearts and minds of believers and skeptics alike. Building on the previous topic of miracles of saints, I would like to discuss another fascinating topic: the miracles of the popes. More specifically, I would like to share some intriguing stories of miracles that are said to have taken place in the Vatican and are attributed to the popes. The popes are considered the spiritual leaders of the Catholic Church, and their authority and influence extend far beyond the Vatican City walls. They are believed to be chosen by God to guide the faithful, and as such, many miraculous events are attributed to them. One of the most famous miracles associated with the popes is the miracle of Pope Leo XIII. In 1884, Pope Leo XIII had a vision in which he saw Satan and his minions plotting against the Church. The Pope immediately wrote the prayer to Saint Michael the Archangel, which has been recited by Catholics ever since. The prayer is believed to have been instrumental in combating the influence of Satan and his followers. Another famous miracle associated with the popes is the miracle of Pope John XXII. Pope John XXII is best known for calling the Second Vatican Council, which brought about significant changes to the Catholic Church. However, he is also believed to have performed a miraculous healing. A woman who was suffering from a serious illness was miraculously cured after she touched a relic of Pope John XXII. In addition to these miracles, there are many other stories of miraculous events associated with the popes. For example, Pope Pius V is said to have received a vision in which he saw the Catholic armies defeating the Turks at the Battle of Lepanto. The vision inspired him to call for a worldwide day of prayer, and the Catholic armies were victorious. Another famous miracle associated with the popes is the miracle of Pope Gregory I. Pope Gregory I is believed to have had a vision in which he saw an angel sheathing a sword over the city of Rome. The vision inspired him to call for a procession through the streets of Rome, and the city was spared from a devastating plague. It is important to note that not all of these stories are supported by evidence, and some may be simply legends or myths. However, they continue to captivate the hearts and minds of believers and skeptics alike, and they serve as a reminder of the power of faith and the belief in the miraculous. Building on the previous topics of miracles associated with saints and popes, I would like to discuss another intriguing aspect of Catholic history. The bleeding statue of Jesus is located in the Church of the Capuchin Friars in Rome, Italy. The statue depicts Jesus on the cross, and it is said to have first started bleeding from its eyes and wounds in 1995. The bleeding is said to occur on specific dates, such as Good Friday and Christmas Day, and it is believed to be a miraculous sign from God. The phenomenon of bleeding statues or icons is not new to the Catholic Church. There have been numerous reports of statues or icons of Jesus, Mary, or other saints bleeding, crying, or emitting a fragrance believed to be of divine origin. These events have been attributed to various causes, including natural phenomena, human intervention, or supernatural causes. The bleeding statue of Jesus in the Church of the Capuchin Friars has generated significant controversy and debate within the Catholic Church. Some believe that the bleeding is a miraculous sign from God, while others argue that it is a hoax or the result of natural causes, such as humidity or condensation. Despite the controversy, the bleeding statue of Jesus has drawn large crowds of faithful and curious visitors. Some believers come to the church to pray and seek divine intervention, while others come to witness the phenomenon for themselves. Regardless of one's belief in the authenticity of the bleeding statue, it serves as a powerful symbol of the Catholic faith and the belief in the miraculous. It is a reminder that faith can transcend reason and that the divine can reveal itself in mysterious and unexpected ways. Continuing with our exploration of the miraculous in Catholic tradition, let us now turn our attention to the sacred relics and objects that hold great significance for the faithful. Throughout history, the Catholic Church has placed great importance on holy relics and objects. These objects are believed to have a special spiritual power, often associated with a particular saint or religious figure. They are venerated and believed to possess healing properties, the ability to protect against evil, and even to work miracles. One of the most famous examples of a sacred relic is the Holy Grail, believed by many to be the cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper. The existence and whereabouts of the Holy Grail have been the subject of much speculation and debate, with numerous claims and theories regarding its location. Another sacred object that has drawn attention and veneration is the veil of the Virgin Mary, believed to have been worn by Mary during her life. The veil is said to possess miraculous properties and has been associated with various healing miracles throughout history. In addition to these relics, there are numerous other sacred objects in the Vatican and beyond that are believed to possess miraculous properties. These objects range from the purported chains that bound St. Peter in prison to the holy thorn said to have been from the crown of thorns worn by Jesus during his crucifixion. The veneration of sacred relics and objects has been a source of controversy within the Catholic Church, with some arguing that it borders on idolatry. Nevertheless, for many faithful, these objects represent a tangible connection to their faith and a powerful reminder of the miraculous power of God. In this segment, we will explore the experiences of psychics, mediums, and individuals with paranormal abilities who have had encounters with mystical events in the Vatican. While the Catholic Church is known for its skepticism towards the paranormal and supernatural, there have been instances where individuals with psychic abilities have been called upon to assist with investigations or have found themselves inexplicably drawn to Vatican City. One such individual is the psychic medium, Maria de Filippi. In 2019, de Filippi claimed to have received a message from the Virgin Mary while visiting the Vatican. She reported feeling the strong presence and hearing the voice of the Virgin Mary, who told her to pray for world peace. Similarly, another psychic medium, Nancy Meyer, has reported having visions of the Virgin Mary while visiting the Vatican. Meyer claims to have seen the Virgin Mary in the form of a bright light and has described her experience as a feeling of overwhelming love and warmth. However, not all experiences with the paranormal in the Vatican have been positive. Some individuals have reported feeling a sense of unease or even terror when encountering supernatural phenomena within the Holy City. Psychic medium Chris Fleming, who is known for his appearances on shows such as Dead Famous and Ghost Hunters, has described feeling a sense of intense negative energy while in the Vatican. Despite the Church's official stance on the paranormal, there have been instances where they have worked with individuals with psychic abilities. In 2002, the Vatican enlisted the help of the Italian psychic, Gianna Talone Sullivan, to assist with a mysterious case involving a statue of the Virgin Mary that had been weeping tears of blood. Talone Sullivan claimed to have received messages from the Virgin Mary, who instructed her to pray for the statue and the church. In this segment, we will explore the stories of individuals who have experienced miraculous healing through prayer and pilgrimage to the Vatican. Vatican City is considered a holy site for many Catholics around the world, and people from all over the globe make the pilgrimage to this spiritual center to seek healing for their illnesses and ailments. While the Vatican does not officially endorse any particular miracle, there have been numerous reports of miraculous healing occurring within its walls. One such story is that of a woman named Caterina Capitani, who was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer in 1994. After undergoing multiple rounds of chemotherapy with no improvement, Capitani traveled to the Vatican and prayed to St. John Paul II for healing. She claimed that during her prayer, she felt a warm sensation throughout her body, and upon returning to her doctor, she was told that her cancer had completely disappeared. Similarly, in 2013, a young boy named Mario Palmrio was suffering from a severe brain hemorrhage that left him in a coma. His parents brought him to the Vatican to pray for healing, and after praying to St. Padre Pio, the boy suddenly woke up from his coma and made a full recovery. These stories of miraculous healing through prayer and pilgrimage to the Vatican are not uncommon. The Vatican archives contain numerous accounts of people who have claimed to be healed of various illnesses and ailments after visiting the Holy City. While the Church remains cautious about endorsing any particular miracle, they have recognized several healings as miraculous, including the case of Sister Marie Simon-Pierre, who claimed to have been cured of Parkinson's disease after praying to Pope John Paul II. In this segment, we will explore the stories of several holy sites within the Vatican and the miracles associated with them. One of the most famous holy sites in Vatican City is St. Peter's Basilica. This massive church is considered the heart of the Catholic Church and is the final resting place of many popes, including St. Peter himself. According to legend, during the construction of the basilica in the 16th century, the workers were struggling to lift a massive column into place. Suddenly, a young boy appeared and helped them lift the column into place with ease. After the column was secured, the boy disappeared without a trace, leading many to believe that he was an angel sent by God to help with the construction. This event is considered a miraculous intervention by many Catholics and serves as a testament to the enduring power of faith. Another holy site within the Vatican is the Sistine Chapel. This iconic chapel is home to some of the most famous artwork in the world, including Michelangelo's masterpiece, The Last Judgment. The chapel is considered a sacred space where the College of Cardinals meets to elect a new pope. According to legend, during the election of Pope Julius II in 1503, a ray of light shone down from the ceiling of the chapel and landed on his head, leading many to believe that this was a sign from God that he was the chosen one. While this event may be seen as a coincidence, many Catholics believe that it was a miraculous intervention by God. One of the most revered holy sites within the Vatican is the tomb of St. Peter. This tomb is located beneath the main altar of St. Peter's Basilica and is considered the final resting place of the first pope. According to legend, after St. Peter's death, his tomb was guarded by an angel who protected it from desecration. Many people have reported feeling a strong spiritual presence when visiting the tomb, and some claim to have seen visions of the saint himself. While these experiences cannot be scientifically proven, they serve as a testament to the enduring power of faith and the belief in miracles. In this segment, we'll be delving into the fascinating topic of angels and their miraculous appearances in and around Vatican City. Angels are powerful spiritual beings believed to act as intermediaries between God and humanity. They have been the subject of countless works of art and literature, and their presence is deeply ingrained in religious beliefs and practices around the world. In the Vatican, stories of miraculous angelic encounters are not uncommon. There have been reports of angels appearing to people in times of crisis or danger, providing comfort and guidance. Some have even claimed to have seen angels in physical form, often described as radiating light or exuding a sense of overwhelming peace. One famous example of an angelic visitation in the Vatican is the story of the apparition of Saint Michael the Archangel. According to legend, in the year 590, Pope Gregory the Great had a vision of Saint Michael on the top of a castle in Rome. The archangel sheathed his sword, signaling the end of a devastating plague that had been ravaging the city. The story of Saint Michael's apparition is celebrated every year on September 29th with a special Mass at the Vatican, and it is a powerful reminder of the role that angels play in the spiritual lives of many people. In addition to the stories of angelic visitations, there are also numerous works of art in the Vatican that depict angels in various forms. One of the most famous examples is the stunning Bernini sculpture of the angel with the crown of thorns, which is housed in the Church of Sant'Andrea del Frate. This beautiful sculpture depicts an angel holding the crown of thorns that was placed on Jesus' head during his crucifixion. It is said to have been inspired by a vision experienced by a French cardinal who saw the angel holding the crown in his hands. The angel with the crown of thorns is just one example of the many incredible works of art and architecture in the Vatican that celebrate the role of angels in religious belief and practice. As we can see, the stories of angels and their miraculous appearances in the Vatican are deeply woven into the fabric of the city's history and culture. Whether through powerful visions, physical manifestations, or stunning works of art, angels continue to inspire and uplift people around the world, reminding us of the power and presence of the divine in our lives. In this video, we will be discussing another fascinating topic, the miracles of the Eucharist. The Eucharist, also known as Holy Communion, is a central sacrament in the Catholic Church. It is the act of receiving the body and blood of Jesus Christ during Mass, and it is believed to be a symbol of the unity of Christ and his followers. However, over the centuries, there have been numerous claims of miraculous events occurring during the celebration of the Eucharist. One of the most famous accounts of the Eucharist's miracle took place in the 8th century. According to legend, a German priest named Paschasius Redbertus was celebrating Mass when he suddenly saw the bread and wine transform into the body and blood of Christ. This event, known as the Real Presence, became an important doctrine in the Catholic Church and is still celebrated to this day. In addition to the Real Presence, there have been numerous other claims of Eucharistic miracles throughout history. One of the most famous occurred in the Italian town of Lanciano in the 8th century. According to the story, a priest who doubted the Real Presence was celebrating Mass when the bread and wine suddenly turned into human flesh and blood. The flesh and blood were preserved and are still on display in the Church of San Francesco in Lanciano. Another notable Eucharistic miracle occurred in Siena, Italy, in the 14th century. A priest was struggling with doubts about the Real Presence when he saw drops of blood fall from the Eucharist onto the altar cloth. This event, known as the Miracle of Siena, is still celebrated annually in the town. Despite these claims of miraculous events, some skeptics argue that they can be explained by natural causes. For example, the bread and wine used during Mass may have been contaminated with bacteria that caused it to ferment and appear as flesh and blood. Others argue that the events were simply the result of people's imagination and the power of suggestion. Regardless of the explanations, the miracles of the Eucharist remain an important part of Catholic tradition and continue to be celebrated and studied to this day. Thank you for watching this video on Vatican mysteries and miracles. We explored several fascinating topics, including the miracles of the saints, the miracles of the Pope, the bleeding Jesus statue, the miracles of sacred objects, the experiences of mediums and paranormal individuals, healing miracles, miracles of holy places, angelic miracles, and the miracle of the Eucharist. I hope this video has been informative and intriguing for you. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this. And don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.